to make it look like you're not
Uh,
struggling for
hold on.
resources.
Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Is this turn on? I don't know.
I hope so for your case. All
I
right.
don't think this really helps, honestly. But it's not.
It does. No, but here's the thing: it brings color to your face, so you don't look like you're in sepia. Yeah, which is ideal. Okay. All right. Now then, let's go for. So, is this your permanent setup, by the way?
Yes. Oh well, I'm in uni
Okay.
right now, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get a poster there. Let's get a flag.
Hold on, I have a
Let's get anything. So that, once again, so that way it looks like you're not, being deprived.
Is this
Awesome.
good?
Yes. Because it just adds a little. It's crooked. Yeah. I just wanted to add a little bit of character to your life.
One poster. Let's go.
Yeah. It's something. And here's the thing. The nice part is that posters are cheap. So
That's true.
if you had, let's say, for example, what you could do is you could set up all like a bunch of Jesus Christ. You could set up
I'm
like
just gonna put this down. I'm putting this down.
like all the films that you like, or like all the Miyazaki films in order, just 1 to 5 behind you. That's a cool background.
That's
right?
true.
That already adds a ton of personality to what you want to do, and makes you seem more human.
Not just the white void behind me.
Yeah, you're not just a faceless guy. Yeah, it's
I've done 2 interviews before, and I did not know how to have my camera on, so I was just a disembodied figure for the last 2.
okay. See, well, that's the thing. If you want to have your camera on, brother, we have to know who you are.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Fair enough.
That's important.
Yes.
Because look, bear in my mind, I used to have a bare white wall behind me for a long time. And it wasn't great, but it was whatever. I tried to hang up all my collection of esports scarves. They didn't stay on, which sucks. But point is, though, is that I'm lucky enough that I'm loud enough as a person that the wall doesn't matter. That's the thing.
Honestly, yeah, fair. That's fair. I think you have like a very conversational personality, which I think is good for the type of work you do.
I'd say vibrance is another good one, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's all pockets, by the way, but it's fine.
It's something.
Okay.
It's fun. It's something. Cool.
Maybe I should move that a little.
Let me do a favor for you as well. I'll turn on the light. You're lucky that my light umbrella, which is here for my side lighting, fizzled out this morning. So I need to order a new bulb. I've had this bulb for 5 years. I can go brighter. What are you talking?
Oh my god!
What? There's no. I can go brighter. But the issue is that it's just so unbalanced in terms of light. Yeah. Here, another lesson in light fixtures. You want to make sure you have, if you can, 2 crossing lights at an angle on you that are like kind of near the ends. So that way, if you have it at the front or you wear glasses like me, it doesn't just disrupt the vision of the people watching.
Makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Should we get into it?
I'm on your clock. Let's do it.
All right. I'm joined by, some would say, the most ravishing man on the internet. I'm joined with Ravish. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Brother, introduce yourself first, man. Come on, what are you doing, bro?
I'm just a guy. My name's Tassin. I'm interviewing Ravish.
Okay, cool. See, look, come on. See, look, we're not doing that. Look, we're all just guys in the day. But look, if we want to do this, right, the people have to know who you are. So I have my shtick. I've got my bullshit, as you said. I've got my most ravished man on the internet, right? Yeah, I've had that for 6 years now. So, because I just wanted a punt, like I just wanted like a tagline. But look, yeah, I want you to come and be like, yo. And this could all stay in, by the way. Like, come and be like, hey, what's going on, homies? Yeah, it's one of homies. I'm Tashin. I'm that boy, and I'm joined here today by Ravish. Let's go. Tag 2. Let's get it.
I feel like I don't have the confidence to say
No, you
that,
do.
but
Yeah, let's go. Take a
all
breath.
right.
Deep breath in. Say your name loud and proud. Let's go.
I'm Tassin. I'm one of the guys. I'm interviewing the most ravishing man on the internet, Ravish.
Let's go. Yeah. Yes, you are. What's up, man? Nice to be here, bro.
What's
Thank you for
up?
having me. I appreciate it. How are you? What's going on? How's your day going?
I'm going great. I'm doing great. It's like
I'm glad.
8 p.m. for me right now, but
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. Should we get right into it?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you talked about how you got into esports originally. You know, being a TSM fan, being into League, and listening to casters like Kobe. Uh,
Mhm.
and from like casting League and Overwatch, what made you, for the most part, choose Valorant as your main esports of choice? I know you still did League a bit in
Mhm.
2023 and a lot of stuff there,
Mhm.
but for the most part, why Valorant as your main esports of choice?
It was just something that gave me more opportunity. It was simple as that,
Mm.
right? It was. I was at the time where, Valorant was starting up, and I've been doing Valorant since beta as well too. So like, I'd done like a decent amount of broadcasts, like tier 3, tier 4, like whatever shit of broadcasts I'd done. A fun fact I like to say is that now I guess I could actually cloud write off them. Is that with Hassan and Cairo, I
Mm.
was on their first broadcast together because I was back when I was hosting a lot too. Especially because within League I would host, and then I would try to present that over the Valorant. But then, like in Val, like, uh I said yes to everything as a caster early on, and
Mm.
still kind of do, right? It's like I was like, that's what you did as a freelancer, was that if you locked yourself down, you were limiting your opportunities. And a lot of my League guys did solely focus on League, and to be fair, some of them got a lot farther than I did, which is great for them, but a lot of them didn't. And for me, I'm happy that I got to keep my options open. And I did Valorant a lot because the game was fun. It was under Riot, and I believed it had a future. It was also like my first strat shooter, and so I just gave it a chance because I thought it'd be cool. And thankfully, the community accepted me due to some instances here and there, but things went off okay. It's mainly why, yeah. Just say yes to everything,
Yeah.
bro.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we also talked about earlier your personality being like vibrant and conversational, and
Mhm.
really, I think that really fits your role. And I got to ask Liz a similar question a couple of days ago, but for like you interview a wide variety of individuals. How do you prep in your mind, like the questions for one specific person, and going into that interview? How does that differ from one person to the next? How are you, like, generally, what's your thought process?
Sure. So, interviewing for me, I find comes at a product of hosting for so long, right? As I mentioned before, in both League and Valorant, I did a lot of that, and the host's job was to interview naturally right afterwards, and we had a short amount of time to come with a couple of questions to someone who just came off a game and ask and just like able to dig into who they are. My thing is that in terms of prepping for the different types of people, is that look, you realize naturally that for me and my angles, I should say, is that I aim to be able to highlight and identify the human behind the name. Right. That's one big thing that I learned from my buddy Jake, or Don Jake, who does interviews in League of Legends. Right. Is that he is really good about humanizing the people. And that's something that I wanted to carry over into Valorant as well. So, and prep specifically, I do a lot.
Mm.
It's not necessarily seen or talked about a lot, but and with Liz, it's a bit different because of how much turnover time she has on broadcast.
Yeah.
But for me, luckily, I usually have a bit more time. So for example, on an average VCT day, I get told before the series starts who I'm interviewing and who I have 10 minutes for. So I go back into their entire social media profiles. I dig into their previous like videos. I watch the team vlogs. I watch their vlogs. Into the content, I watch their streams. Like, I am constantly upkeeping, if not referencing things from years ago, days ago, or even like just this morning, just to ensure that I have a good idea about what this person has gone through recently, the things they've said, how they talk, and who they are.
Mm.
And then even from there, I'll give small introductory questions to just have them settle in and see what kind of vibe they're on. Right. And then I'll be able to go off of that. It's a lot harder being online, but
Mm.
it's doable. And the big thing, especially the long form ones, it's a lot easier because I can transition from topic to topic depending on how a person is responding to each like type of question. And you can usually tell what they're more excited to talk about, what they're not, right? So like I'll keep a good mixture just to ensure that we can do a little like a little push and pull of having them laugh and talk about their stupid haircuts, going back into why they left their team. Like it's just it's a good balance, which I enjoy personally, and like I find again like it allows the people that I'm talking to stay level and not be so zoned in on game because that's just boring, bro. Yeah, it's not it's not fun for anybody. But yeah, I do a lot of research, hours and hours of research, every single interview, every single time.
Yeah, and you also talked a little bit about the more long form stuff, and you did one with Chronicle recently. So like an hour long. You did another one of like recent or like same-ish duration with Rossi like about a year ago. Like compared to your other videos, were those kind of interviews harder for you because it was like more prep, or was it like easier because it was like easier to flow from one to another because it was longer?
Oh no, I love the longer stuff. It's just I find it so much easier because, like you're saying, right? It's just easier to flow from thing to thing, and the lack of time constraints makes it so much nicer to be able to talk in and dig into what you want, right? Most post-game interviews, you're given about 10 to like maybe 12 minutes or so, right? Every single time before there's a cutoff. But if I could sit down with a person for 40 minutes to an hour, then I can truly have the experience of, making sure that I want to dig into what I want to get into, highlight about them what I want to, and also talk freely about the answers that they want to give. If you notice within the Kron interview, Kron will go off for about 10 minutes on just one answer, right? If this was an actual interview, I'd be done after one question, which is which would be shit. But luckily, it's not the case, right? But it is nice though. Naturally in the longer form stuff, you have to have a lot more questions prepared. Like on average, right? For a 10-minute interview, I'll have about 10 questions, right? Just as prep line for what I want to get across, and then I'll kind of vibe from there based on what the person said. For the longer form stuff, right? I've got 25 to 30. Right? I have a lot just in case.
Yeah.
Right? And then what happens? Well, I don't even use most of them. Right? I just let them be because someone may be so interested about talking about something else that like I just want to dig into that, right? For example, with Kron, it was about respect, right? And what he kind of demands from his teammates. So that was cool and clearly kind of like that was like a sore topic, but it's something that he really thought about a lot. So like, talk more about that, right? It's just and you kind of judge the vibe and flow as things go on. But yeah, it's longer form, so much nice. Plus, it's a little podcast, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, true. I also wanted to talk about your other roles. So you've been a host, you've been an analyst, you've been a caster. I think that's like something you don't get to see as much with like some of the broadcast talent, that they've been with like a wide variety of the broadcasting space. What has been your experience with that? Has it been hard to switch from one thing to another like so much, or has it just been fun?
It's hard to switch games than it is rules. I'd say usually, especially within a certain game, right? And I've done a decent amount of games, so whenever I have to relearn a new community, a new meta, a new everything, that takes a lot more time to understand, especially because each community has its own lingo, its own things to talk about, usually its own like ongoing thing they don't say, right? So there's a lot of historical context to learn usually when you would dive into a new game. For a new role, I find that's the story of every single freelancer there is. If you've been in the game long enough, you said yes to it all because you will not say no to an opportunity because usually you can't afford to. So saying yes to being an analyst, a host, a caster, whatever it may be, right? It's like, and even both doing color and play-by-play, it was because I wanted to remain flexible and understand and let people know that I am able and around to fill every single role. Let me be on your broadcast. Let me help elevate your experience. And is it fun? Yeah, hell yeah. Being a broadcast is always a great time. But yeah, dude, because the amount of prep you do for each role varies greatly. The prep I do for hosting is a decent bit, but it's a very different prep from what I do for analysis to what I do as a caster, right? It's all different kinds of preparation. I enjoy hosting the most. So which is why the prep for me feels a lot easier. Like analysis prep is tough because you gotta get into a lot of numbers, specifics, ideas, replays, so on. You have to have ideas of what you want to say in a cohesive and interesting manner. And caster prep, well, that's just normal stuff, right? Storylines, so on, right? Storylines, statistics, working what you do to see what you want to bring up, hero rules, for what you want to get across. So it can vary greatly. But at the end of the day, it's all just fun. This is a good time. I'm very lucky to get do what I do. So it's never not a good time.
Yeah. And talking about your history a bit, so you're with YFP currently as a content creator. And
Yeah.
back a few years ago, you was also with the SCAR, working with them a
Hmm.
little bit. And
Yeah.
previously, you've talked about that experience and also the experience of being laid off from the SCAR
Hmm.
and like moving on from that. Like, I think you kind of have to have like a lot of experience and perseverance trying to, especially in esports when it's kind of a harsh environment, trying to get through that kind of thing. What was your mindset when initially getting laid off and then picking yourself back up and going into content creation?
This fucking sucks. That was my mindset. That this
Yeah.
is shit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, well, fuck me. I guess it was my mindset. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear or not or should.
It's
But
fine. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah, just getting laid off is ass, dude. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, and it sucks when I mean, as I'm sure Liz can speak on it too, as I'm sure you talked to recently. It was like, dude, it was
Mm,
the score was where I dreamed about working for years upon end.
mm,
When I grew up because I watched so much of their content. I watched that classic, wood panel arcade cabinet setup, and I was like, I want to be there one day. So now I got left due to unfortunate circumstances. Right, but like it was just like, and even at the time too, it's like yeah, dude, it was heartbreaking.
mm,
Because it was a job that I really wanted and some place that I wanted to continue my career at. And most recently, as we're talking about it, as it is topical, right? It's like it sucks that a lot of people who've been there for 10 years have had their livelihood stripped away from them, right? It's
yeah.
extremely hard, and to bounce back from that, it took me like a week to like think about where I could go next, when I could do, and what I want to do next. And you know, I then adult myself into realizing that I needed to have more professional experience. So like after that too, I joined esports.gg, right,
Mm,
for like about half a year or so, working to lead their video program and like helping to release more content on their end and the website. And then like most recently at Load Screen for working as a talent agent, right? So it's like
mm,
it's it's different, but I understood that esports is a dream that very few get to live and even fewer get to experience. Being within the space or even adjacent to it is something that I'm lucky enough to be in. And I'm glad I got to ride out for what I did. Not to say my journey is over nonetheless, but I
mm,
also realized that my priorities have shifted over time. I started this in 2020 with bright-eyed, bushy tail, thinking that I wanted to see where this goes. I had no real goals or like lofty dreams, but everyone's dream is to be on a tier one broadcast. I got close
mm.
to times that I did really cool things. But as you go into 2026, I'm like, hey, I got bills to pay. I have
Yeah.
people I want to support. I have a family that I want to work with, be my mom, my sister, right? That I want to make sure that they're all good. And so like, and it's not to say that I'm broke, but it's to say that I just want to make sure that the time that I spent here is worthwhile. And it's
Mm,
okay that I remain adjacent to the game, right? I'm happy to do the interviews and get to go across to different places and locations, right? I'm very lucky to get to do that still. And it's still fun. I'll keep doing it as long as it is fun. But we must wake up and smell the very deprived and underfunded flowers that is esports space. That it's things are going away little by little, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
I mean, even for like I would argue, the most fortunate people in this space, like tier one players. These are careers that maybe last a decade at most. You get paid a lot, obviously, if you're a tier
If
one player,
they're
but
lucky.
if
Yeah.
they're lucky, I mean, like Boaster, for example, is like an insane 1 in a million kind of career, or like a Zaken or any tier one player basically. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, I think it's definitely hard when gaming industry in general is not like healthy towards artists like at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
um,
it's hard, man, because we are a passionate industry full of passionate people led by, and in a lot of cases, corporations that kind of use that passion to fuel their numbers and the bottom line.
yeah.
Just kind of why you see that a lot of them either end up getting burnt out or laid off. Because one case or the other, things don't work out. But it kind of is what it is, because it's really fun. And I'm
Yeah.
very happy for anybody that gets to continue their career in it, because it's incredible to be around. It's a space that I'm very lucky to get to be in and like know so many incredible people in as well. So,
Mhm.
hey, in all, I'm just happy to be here, bro.
I mean, yeah, that's why anyone does this because it's fucking fun. And yeah, speaking of that, do you have like a favorite interview or just general moment from 2025 that's like really stood out to you?
Dude, I've done so many interviews in the last years.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Oh, I've done so many. Well, I mean, I think I don't know if I have a favorite, but there's a couple of moments that like I look back on and I'm glad that I got to have an impact and make people smile on.
Mm.
And every single time that I do, I'm always like, fuck yeah, let's go. We did that shit. Because my goal as a broadcaster always was if I made one person smile today, I did my thing. Because I am first and foremost a entertainer, I'd say. But I think there are a couple of press conference moments I can look at, right, where I think like some of the questions that I had, or I was like, these are bangers. Specifically the one during Toronto, where I remember it was the pre-event press conference, and
Mm.
it was luckily it was the mixed like group, right, with like all six teams. Um,
Yeah.
with some six teams there, and I remember the question was, look to your left, look to your right. Would you, if the person beside you was being attacked by a bear, would you help yourself? Would you help them, or would you help the bear? Was was the question, and it got incredible responses. It was so funny, right? And like it was like just things, moments like that where like I getting to in fact cover my first Masters in person this year.
Mm. Yeah.
I was there every single day for 23 days. Not a day
And
off. I
finally
drove
being hosted
downtown.
at home. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome being a Charger. I was so lucky that I got to be there, right?
Mm.
And so I was like, there's no shot I'm gonna miss out on a single opportunity to not be there. And so, I got together, I filmed, I vlogged, I interviewed, I did everything I could. And even if I couldn't, I was there every day, no matter what. I asked questions at every press conference because it was so few people get to be able to even attend Masters, and even a smaller percentage get to attend it every day of the event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think you got the
that was
best
something that I
event
felt
this
lucky.
year, in my opinion,
Yeah,
anyways.
it was. I agree. It was. Yeah. Shout out Toronto. We're kind of the
Shout out
goats
to
of this, right?
Toronto.
That's what
Kind
I'm
of cooked,
saying.
I can't lie.
I'm saying, bro. It was awesome. It was so fun, and then naturally as well, I got to transition that to the work that I did there to where I got to go to Paris, right?
Mm.
Cover champs in person, from being a fan 2023 to getting to cover the event that I love, as a whole, which was a very surreal experience on its own to get to fly across the country and for a video game. My first time in Europe, my first time in Paris, right? So it was just, yeah, it was everything that I could have asked for and more. Simple.
That's awesome. Yeah. As my final question, I guess, coming to the end of time here a little bit, going into 2026, a lot of the season's going to change, especially with champs, with Ascension teams and everything. Um, for you as a broadcaster, is there anything specific you're looking forward to, or like anything associated with your role as an interviewer, or caster that you think would be amazing in 2026?
I just want to do more long form. I just want to do more.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's just like being able to talk to players more and more environments, different experiences, different like it gets to highlight more stories that we haven't before, right? It's a brand new season with new teams, a lot of rookies, and an insanely new meta, which is so exciting to get to go and get to walk into, right? My dream was always be is that if I can get to appear on the VCT broadcast, right? That'd be great, right? But if not, hey, I hope I was going to get more cover more events in person, but by some grace of a God, right? That's just that's all the right games too, which are both work well. But it's just that's simply it. I'm lucky enough that I've gotten to form incredible relationships across the years with those players and broadcasters and other people, and so that I'm lucky that where these space that I could exist in where I can just DM somebody being like, hey, you want to sit down for an hour? They're like, yeah, sure, why not? Right? It's like it's cool, and it's a very unique experience that I get to have. Like, which is why I was lucky enough to get the Kron interview, to get the Rossi interview, to get to talk with Zekin all those years ago, right? Like and Doom Bro as well too. So it's like I'm happy that I get to exist in this space, and I hope I get to just do more of that, get to make more people laugh, dude. Just like yeah, I'm very happy that whenever someone comes up to me being like, dude, yo, that question you asked was hilarious. I'm like, yes, God, yeah, it was great. Or like when I leave a lasting impression on a player that when I come back to them, like, oh no, you are like, let's go, dude.
Yeah,
I did it. Because as you said at the beginning, we're all just some guys. And I truly am just some dude, bro. I positively believe I'm nobody but a human. And I'm just lucky that I got to be at the right place at the right time. And just believe in myself to the point where I get to do this today and talk to you today. Simple as that.
I mean, thank you. I think that's a beautiful outlook to have on this. I mean, esports might be a fucking harsh ass environment, but I think as long as we're all just a couple of guys just trying to have fun, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. All right. Thank you so much for doing this. Yeah.
Thank you.